Hi guys, I'm back, and this is where I kind of need you to play pretend with me because, like I said, I already hemmed the dress, so what I'm using now is a piece of Swedish tracing paper, which is what I really like to use as pattern making paper. It's this really soft, supple paper, and you can actually sew through it. So I'm actually going to sew on this to show you a sample of hemming a circle skirt. And so I've cut this out along the curve of my pattern piece, so this is the exact curve I would have been hemming anyway. And what I did was I went ahead and pinned it sort of around there, pretending this is going to be my new hemline. So, like I just showed you on the dress form, you put your pins every 2 to 3 inches, you have them around there at your length that you marked against the wall. And now what I'm going to do is put this down, and I'm actually putting it down over a plastic bag on my ironing board, because I wanted to use this red pen to show you, and I didn't want it to seep through onto the ironing board, so I've got a little creative setup going here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my pen, but don't use a pen on your dress, use a piece of tailor's chalk. So let's just pretend that this is tailor's chalk, and we're going to pretend that this is your dress. Okay, so I'm marking right on the pin, right there. See where the pin went through? I just marked right on there. So I'm just going to keep going around, marking my pins. Hopefully you guys will be able to see this. I know we talked about me doing more close-ups, but I have a really kind of not so sophisticated film setup, and I'm doing this alone, so hopefully this will work out. Okay, so as you can see, I just went around there and marked where each pin was stuck through the fabric. So now I'm going to take my pins out. And what I've got is just these red dashes along the edge of my pretend skirt. So now what I would do is put your tailor's chalk away, your pretend tailor's chalk. And now I'm going to take my bag away too. Okay, so now that I've got my marks on there, what I want to do is press up the skirt to that length. So, got my iron on, and I'm just going to fold up the skirt to that mark, first mark of tailor's chalk, press it down, and then just keep going around, pressing up as you go, and press it up to each mark there. And that's what you're just going to keep going around there. And like I've shown you before, like when I was hemming my coat, it's going to ripple up here, but just press it on the bottom, because that's, you know, that's what skirts with fullness do. They have that fullness that needs to be eased in somehow, but we're going to make a real narrow hem, so we're not going to have to ease in the fullness. Okay. So, there I have pressed up. Here, I'm going to walk over here so you can see it. How's this for a close-up? Alright, so see, those were my marks. I pressed up the hem to each mark as I was going around and just made that edge nice and smooth and flat. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew a line. I'm going to stitch a line just 1/8 of an inch from the bottom there through both thicknesses. And I'll go do that right now and show you when I come back. Okay, be right back. Okay guys, I'm back, and I've just gone around that bottom edge using a sort of coral colored thread, so hopefully you can see, and just stitch through both edges right there. So now, the next thing I want to do, okay, I'm back at my ironing board. So now I have it stitched here. Next thing I'm going to do is take my applique scissors and cut very close to that stitching line. I'm just going to do that all the way around, but I'll just show you with a little portion there. Okay, so there it is. It's just cut real close to that stitching line. And now what I want to go do, back to the ironing board, is I'm going to turn it up again onto itself, like that, and press it down. So I've just got that real narrow little hem down there, and just turning it up and pressing it. So there we go, just a real tiny little hem, turned up twice. So now I can take it to my machine and just top stitch along that little edge there, and that will be my hem. Okay, so now you can see this is the outside of the pretend skirt, and this is what it would look like. Obviously you can see the 2 rows of stitching there because this is transparent pattern making paper, but with the fabric you won't be able to see that other row. And obviously you won't be using red marker, so you won't be able to see that either. And you've just got a real nice narrow hem there that will take the fullness nicely. So I'm going to go back to my dress and show you how it looks when it's done. Okay. Okay, so I'm back to the hem of my actual dress, and you can see how it looks, just a real narrow hem there. If I flip it up, that's what it looks like, and that's what I just did on that Swedish tracing paper. So you can see how it looks. You can barely see that hem, and it just lays really nicely on a full circle skirt like this. So I hope that all makes sense. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye. Henry, say bye. No? Okay. Bye.